The daily grind. First we spend like a 45-minute train ride, standing, rubbing butts with some random stranger. And then you get out and have to waddle like a duck, getting stepped on, just so you can swipe your card to get out. But it's worth it. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Larry and Pat.
So today is day 45. We're halfway there, guys.
Yep. Sponsored by Larry and Pat Brumfield.
Thank you very much for sponsoring and supporting us. Today it's hot and humid.
Yes.
It feels more like it does in Texas, except with an edge of just enough cold that it's uncomfortable to wear shorts.
It's hot, but in the shade it's very cold.
Very
it's
cold.
Breezy.
Yeah. I don't think that's fair. You guys think that's fair? Not fair. Anyway, we're going to school now. We're going to cross the street, so I'm going to stop filming. Bye.
サッカーのチケットをもらいました。
いつですか？
一緒に行きませんか？
大丈夫。いつですか？いつですか？
来週の金曜日です。
金曜日です。金曜日ですか？3年です。勉強か勉強がありますか？
そうですか。
まだお願いします。わかりました。
映画のチケットをもらいました。一緒に行きませんか？
いつですか？
今日の午後です。
今日の午後です。残念ですが、用事がありますか？
そうですか。
またお願いします。
わかりました。
Hello.
This looks so weird. I shattered my phone screen today and there are hundreds of teeny tiny little lines all over the screen. Feels like we're behind a spider web.
Huh.
Of course, this looks funny because you guys can't see that. Anyway.
Yeah.
So,
We assure you it looks really weird.
it does look really weird.
So, today was day number
45!
45, sponsored
Officially.
by Larry and Pat Brumfield.
Brumfield, yes.
Yeah. I was talking to them before we left, saying that for the longest time I thought their last name was Brumfield, because I knew someone whose last name was Brumfield. So I thought people were just like stuttering when they said Brumfield. I'm like, who's Brumfield? But yeah. So yeah.
Thank you guys for supporting us and for sponsoring day 45. It's officially halfway through.
Yep.
That is amazing.
Yeah. It feels like it's been a long time, and it feels like it hasn't at the same time. Like, I can't
Same
believe
time.
it's already halfway through, but it feels like we've just been doing this forever.
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know if I'm just adaptable or too lazy to notice. I don't know.
That's funny how that works. I think part of it's like, oh my gosh, it's been going on for so long. And like the tedious parts. But then the fun parts make it feel like it hasn't been that long at all. So it's kind of a combination. So it's interesting. But yeah.
Anyway, so you saw the videos. So you saw basically what our day was like. What wasn't in the videos. I'm trying to think if anything happened interesting. We've been getting a little more comfortable with people at church. Been able to talk to them more. Getting along well with the pastor's son and one of the other foreigners. He's American also, from Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's from Pennsylvania. And we get along well. We talk to them. And getting a little more familiar with the Japanese congregation as well. So
And then just learning little phrases. And it helps.
yeah,
Man, when we first got here, we knew almost nothing. And it was just like,
yeah,
don't even know where to start. I mean, I could say hi, but like besides that, it's very intimidating. So it's nice to get to the point where at least you could have a teeny tiny little conversation. Enough to show that you are interested in their lives and what they have to say. It's rewarding and frustrating all at the same time. It's so weird how that works.
Yeah.
So, anyway, yeah, today was pretty normal. Tomorrow, we might not do a whole lot since it's supposed to be raining.
Yeah, it's going to be
all day
raining
long.
heavy all day long. So we don't know if we'll really leave the house a whole lot. And Anna's got a little project she's going to be working on. So I'll be catching up on studying, my Bible reading. I've fallen a little bit behind on some of that. And just keeping up with stuff. Ooh, one interesting thing. The pastor showed us this book that he got from I don't know where. It's a book written specifically for Japanese Christians going to church in America. So it's got all the things that they might hear, all the Christianese and phrases people would say, I had not realized I was a sinner up until da 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 da, or, and other things that Christians say that non-Christians wouldn't understand and would be even more confusing for a Japanese person who doesn't even really know the language. So it's a book written for them, and they can look at it and read it. However, you can read it kind of in reverse, backwards, for American Christians going to church in Japanese, looking at, okay, how do I want to say this? And you look at it and like, oh, that's how it's said in Japanese. Of course, granted, it's written in Japanese, so it'll take a little finagling to be able to repeat it right, but...
It's just something you don't think about. I mean, even in the States, people who grew up in the church don't really understand that the phrases they say, the way we talk, doesn't translate even in English. So some of the people's like, what does that even mean? Like we say righteousness and all these other words, like even for Christians, like you stop and think, you're like, I really don't actually know exactly. I know what that means in context, but I can't really tell you exactly what I'm
define the word,
defining what it means. So it's just interesting to think, oh yeah, you don't just have to learn the language. We have to learn the language, and then you have to learn how to explain spiritual things in that language, which they may not even have words for those things you're trying to say. Yeah. So it's just yet another thing.
So interested in
interesting though.
Getting that book and studying it a little bit. Maybe might even come to understand in our own language what that's supposed to mean by looking at it, how it's said in another language.
True.
So yeah.
So that was really interesting. Anyway, we're rambling a little bit.
The reason, sorry, I'm a little more rambling. The reason the pastor brought that up is because one of the other guys, his name is Jeremy, he's from Pennsylvania. He speaks some Japanese. He's not fluent by any means, but he does speak some, and even teaches at a school, or he assists a teacher. But he's been asked to pray before in Japanese, and he's not confident. I mean, he did well enough that everybody knew what he was saying, except us, because we didn't speak Japanese. But the pastor was really excited to show him that book because it had like example prayers that he could kind of model his own prayers after if he was ever struck by the desire to pray in Japanese. And we're just like, ooh, and then he decided to show us too. And then the pastor was all excited because he realized that it was written in a way that non-Japanese people could kind of understand it and be able to read it. And he was all like, oh wow, I didn't even know this about the book that I had. But yeah. So yeah, that was our day. Thank you again so much for sponsoring us and putting up with our rambling and everything. We hope to see you guys in about as many days as we've been here. So yeah, y'all take care now. We're praying for you.
Good night.
Good night, y'all.